Hi guys, welcome to Primetime Mitch, and this is your festive video for the holiday period. It is a busy time and the studio is pretty much gone. But joining me to close out 2025 on this channel is YouTuber, actor, prop builder, and all-round horror contributor, Chris Stanley. How's it going, my friend?
I'm doing well, mate. How you doing? Thanks for having me.
It's a pleasure having you. I am tired but very willing at the moment. I've got a lot going on, and sure you have as well.
That like sums up being in your 30s, tired but willing. I love it.
Well, I'm in my 30s, thank you.
Mate, how old are you?
I'm 40.
You're 40?
Yeah.
Dude, goddamn, okay.
Oh, that's a good start. We're going to get along great.
Yeah.
What we're basically going to do today is, because it's December, I usually do Christmas ranking videos around this time, but because it's so busy, I thought I'd bring somebody on who was very knowledgeable in horror to talk about the top 5 Christmas-themed horror for this month. But before we get into that, I want to just ask, what have you been busy with recently that's kept you going towards this last month of the year?
Oh, man. So this morning I demolded this big bastard right here. So yeah, this is a production-made Spawn bus by 𝗵𝗵𝗿𝗀𝘀 Studios. This was the unused version, but they used it for promo with the soundtrack and their statue in the 𝗵𝗵𝗿 office. So I started offering castings of this, and someone finally bought one off Etsy. I'm like, oh man, I better mold this. So like I took the silicone and the plaster of it this morning. The mold's out there degassing on the balcony, and it's huge because like Michael Jai White's he's a big dude. So working on him, I've got Batman stuff out there, like Batman cows, stuff like that. But then also, you know, working on the channel and, you know, everything in front and behind the cameraman. And then also just trying to somewhat wind down for the year because my wife and I are going overseas to visit her family for Christmas. So I just want to make sure things are sent out to clients, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Just a bit of everything. And then also, you know, just doing the usual thing, you know, cleaning the house and taking the dog out.
The menial jobs.
Yeah, that's it. You know, scrubbing grime off the shower.
Oh, surely not. You look like you have a spotless place there. I can't imagine there's any grime whatsoever.
No, not grime. It's just organized chaos, just because of like there's silicon molds everywhere. Like I'm literally staring at a Nightmare Batfleck bust right now. There's parcels everywhere. So it's not dirty per se. There's just a lot going on right now.
You're just in the tidy corner, aren't you?
That's it. This is the tidiest space in the whole apartment. If I turn the camera around right now, it just looks like a shit fight.
Well, basically, then, if you're doing all that, this is going to be a little bit different for you, this kind of themed video. I am a big fan of this time of year. I absolutely come alive at Christmas. For some reason, amidst all the horror and the grotesque and everything that goes on in the other 11 months of the year, this is a one where I just become like a happy, giddy child. You will see the graphics come up on the screen now. This is the top 5 listings. I've got you on one side, I've got myself on the other, and I've gone for top 5 because I think top 10 might have been stretching it with the short notice that we had doing this. So if you're okay, I will go into number 5 and we'll just take it from there.
Okay, all right. Again, super controversial, bit of a, I wouldn't say a hot take. And this is purely because of what it did to me as a kid, but also when you do really deconstruct it and think about it there, it is somewhat of a horror film, and that's Batman Returns.
Yes.
Yes. So, and anyone who's watching that will be like, what? It's a comic book movie. Let me explain where the horror for me comes from. When I first watched that film when I was a kid, for the longest time, mum and dad would not let me watch it. It was Batman Returns and Hook. I don't know what had gone on in our local area, but all the parents were like, Hook and Batman Returns, just no. So mum and dad were like, okay. And finally, when I just begged my parents, I'm like, you let me watch Batman 89, and that's got some pretty heavy themes and sequences in it. I'm like, just watch Batman Returns. Anyway, watching it, and right away I'm like, this feels darker. And I'm young, like a little pea brain, and I'm like, this just feels heavier, darker. And obviously it was because Tim Burton had creative control, like full creative control. The second Michelle Pfeiffer gets her claws, tick tack, and stabs the guy in the face. Tick tack. Still remember it. I get this pain in the stomach, like I'm gonna be sick, and I'm like, oh my god, like why? She's so pretty, but like, why? Then cuts to Danny DeVito when he bites the dude's nose and all that blood squirts everywhere. And also just the look of Danny DeVito as the Penguin. Like, he like one of the best performances for a villain in a comic book movie, I think. Like, that casting was so on point. Stan Winston's makeup. But just that horrific scene and he's just like, my nose could be gushing blood. And just, it was so abrupt as well. Then and it went over my head at the time. I'm like, he's a little sexual deviant. He's like, I want to show my French flipper trick. And then at the end of the film, when Catwoman gets the taser with Max Schreck and goes in, and when Bruce, like when Batman takes the cowl off and he's sifting through all the junk, and you see, Max Schreck all like, woo! And I was like, I finished the movie, I'm like, that was horrifying. And I don't know why, I love Christmas time in Gotham. There is something so awesome about Batman and Christmas time. Like if you play Arkham Origins, it's snowing in Gotham. But I think because Tim Burton had so much creative control now after how well 89 did, it was a Tim Burton Batman. And there are horror elements in it. And I think it's so, I actually prefer Returns to 89. And that's not to take away anything from 89. Still a beautiful film. Such a good starting point for a live action Batman. To me, I just love how dark and gnarly Returns is. So technically, it is one of my favorite Christmas horror comic book movies.
That's such a good pick, because last year I picked that in my top 5 Christmas but not Christmas movies, because people don't always automatically associate it, and I think it really is. But you're absolutely right on the horror, because when you said it's a horror and it scared you as a kid, the first thing I thought of was the Max Schreck when he opens the where he finds him underneath all the stuff and he's all burnt up. That scared me as a kid, as did the Penguin and the nose biting scene. So it's incredible. I think how it seems to eclipse the horror in 89's, which was actually very strong.
Yeah, it was like, it was more subtle. You know, the horrific imagery of Jack Nicholson taking the bandages off, looking in the little mirror and, you know, smashing it, and you see all the bloody instruments. And I remember watching that as a kid, and it didn't hit me as much as Returns did, but I was like, oh, whoa. I think it was more like, they're not mucking around here. This isn't like a Cesar Romero Joker. This is a dark take. But then obviously, when Returns came along and like the circus gang, like Penguin's circus gang, even when Penguin dies and the Penguins give him that little procession down the kind of slope into the water, and there's that shot of Danny DeVito sinking down in the water and all the green blood and bile. And I think because Tim Burton loves black around the eyes, like, you know, Edward Scissorhands, and a lot of his drawings have and it just looks horrific with DeVito's beady eyes, like just dead still. And I was like, oh my God. Yeah. And like, such a cool bat suit as well. Like such I wouldn't say an upgrade, but they've definitely progressed because they had more money. They could make something a bit more sleek and streamlined. And Keaton just looks so good in that cowl. But yeah, man, I'm adding it to the list because I definitely think it's a horror. It has horror elements, but because of the effect it had on me as a kid.
You say that there was sort of it was a taboo that you weren't supposed to watch that. Maybe it was just that you were a young man and you might be very impressionable, and Michelle Pfeiffer looked the way she does in the movie. I don't know.
I mean, very well. Mum and Dad were like, "No, this is going to be an awakening film for him. We don't need him to do that just yet."
And I imagine as a props builder as well. I don't know about you, but that really, really sort of upset me a little when he rips the head off the suit at the end.
Oh, and the black eye makeup's all of a sudden gone.
Well, I never actually noticed that. I was just upset with the sabotaging of the suit.
Oh man, go back and watch it, because they cut from him saying, you know, split right down the center, cuts to Michelle Pfeiffer, and then cuts back to Keaton, and the black eye makeup's gone. What the fuck? And that's when he rips it off.
Okay.
And I'm like, guys, you could have cast the cow. I'm getting super nerdy. You could have cast the cow where you just cut out little beady parts of the eyes, and like it's like, watch it again, man. You'll be like, they just didn't give two shits about it. They're just like, just don't put it on. He'll look silly if he takes it off.
So my top 5 is the same as it was last year because I've not watched anything since, and I've not really changed my mind. But I think it's nice to sort of share it with somebody else. I've actually not written down the year of this, which is frustrating on my part. It is a French movie called Deadly Games. I don't know if you know of it. It's called a lot of terrible names, like alternative names. One of them is Dial Code Santa Claus, which just doesn't sound like a horror in the slightest.
No. It's like an action movie.
Well, this is the thing, because what it is, if you imagine a slasher horror version of Home Alone, that's what this movie is.
Okay. And it's French, you said? It's
a French movie, and it's a young boy called Thomas, and he's basically under attack from this killer dressed as Santa Claus. It sounds very cliche, but it sort of works with this because of the setup for it. I think he's from a department store or something like that. But he is basically defending his grandfather, his old grandfather who can barely function. He needs the family's help. And it's just him and his grandfather and this killer. And he is trying to get into the house. And this kid has just devised all these traps, very Kevin McAllister style, all over the place, and he becomes like a mini Rambo almost. And it's batshit. And although it sounds really silly, there's a lot of comedic elements to it. It goes hard on the kills. It goes hard on the violence. They even do the thing that nobody likes nowadays, and they even make a dog the victim. And it's just, it's quite a brutal movie, considering it looks on face value like it's nothing like that. And it's well worth looking for.
Okay, yeah. I have a feeling, man, your list is going to be very cultured. Mine's very surface level, bro. But that sounds interesting. I'd be keen to check that out. What was it called again?
Deadly Games is the one I know it as. I think it's like
I'm assuming that's what it is on IMDb. Is that the main title?
Yeah, the kid looks badass.
3615 code Perry Noel.
That's the one.
On Christmas Eve, a resourceful young boy has to defend himself and his grandfather from a killer dressed as Santa Claus. Hell yeah, man. I'm going to have to check this one out.
Really fun watch. You wouldn't think it, honestly. But yeah. And actually, a little fact is, apparently, René Manzor, I think he's the director, I don't know whether he did or he considered a plagiarism sort of issue with Home Alone, because he said they basically just remade his movie. Yeah, so that's worth looking up on as well.
Yeah, okay. Good luck with that.
Well, yeah, they said he remade his movie. They basically just took some ideas. They definitely didn't remake that, because that is pretty hellish in parts.
Okay, good pick, man. Nice. All right, I want to check that out.
So before we go on to number 4, I just wanted to ask you on the theme of this. What are your thoughts, being a horror fan, what are your thoughts on blending the cheerful aesthetic of Christmas with horror?
I love it. I love it because you can get so dark, twisted, and it all also comes down to how the film can be edited. And it is in one of my picks for this video, with how you can use Christmas carols while something horrifically brutal is going on up on screen. So I think there's that room to play with. You can be so serious and have Christmas carols playing, or you can be so absurdly grotesque and have Christmas carols playing. So I think there's a lot of room to play when you incorporate the slasher subgenre with Christmas. I think it's a mad playground to be in.
Agreed. I think it's that juxtaposition of happy and evil, good and evil next to each other, but also as well because Christmas is something that is a big deal in your childhood, as part of your childhood. And you take that innocence of a season where it's supposed to be goodwill to all men and all that sort of stuff, and then you put it in the other direction. It's almost like when they twist the fairy tales and things. I do find that appealing. That sort of, this should be nice, but it's horrible.
Yeah, and that's why you can have so much fun with it, man. It's taking that innocence and turning it around and stabbing you in the face with it.
So go on then. What's your number 4? We'll go. We've had a very good start with 5. Tell me your next one.
All right. So this is a very, very, very big guilty pleasure. Jack Frost.
Oh, I never thought about that one.
Yeah, and I know everyone. It's the first thing everyone talks about. They're like, "Oh, the Michael Keaton film." I'm like, no, 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 no. Like back in the day, I remember seeing that at the video store, both of them, and just being so confused. I'm like, wait, wasn't that in the why is this in the horror section now? And then I look on the back and I'm like, oh, okay, there's like a half naked lady and a snowman's like trying to do, unpleasant things to us. So it's definitely a rip off of Child's Play, murderer swears revenge, comes back in the form of a snowman this time. Just the shitty puns, just the schlockiness of it. You got Shannon Elizabeth in her first role. There's not much else to say about it. It's just like, it's one of those movies where you get your mates over, get some Uber Eats, get some drinks into you, and just watch it and rip on it, because it's a fun romp. It's very much like Samurai Cop. Like it's so bad it's good.
That's fantastic thing about horror is there are so many movies that it doesn't have to be. People think with horror it's got to be scary. Sometimes you've just got to have a fun time with it, or you've just got to have like a riot with it. Rather, it doesn't always have to chill you to the bone. And I think the more of those kind of films there are as an option and as an alternative to the more terrifying things out there, the better.
100%, man. I agree. And that's what we're talking about. There's each end of the spectrum of what you can do with like Christmas themed horror movies. You can go dark or brutal, or you can go the route of Jack Frost.
Do you know what I will say? When you said Jack Frost, I did immediately think of Michael Keaton, and then immediately thought of that one straight away. So I was like, oh no, this is horror.
Yeah. Like I haven't seen Jack Frost 2. I probably should. But yeah, the first one again, it's just, I think also just seeing that in the video store next to Pinocchio's Revenge, and it's that twist on, again, the childhood innocence of Pinocchio, and then Jack Frost, and Christmas, and we're about to get Pinocchio Unstrung, so that'll be an interesting watch. Robert Englund is Jiminy Cricket.
That's madness.
But yeah, man, again, and then like my next pick is wouldn't say it's the complete opposite, but it's much more of a serious one.
Hey, Jack!
I measure these up, how much I enjoy them, and I remember saying when I did the rankings that this might be other people's number one, but number 4 is Silent Night, Deadly Night.
I have not seen it yet.
Oh.
Yes, excellent. I know, and because the remake's about to come out with Roanne Campbell. And it's always been on my radar. So actually, I want to do a video in the next week or so watching Sinister for the first time. I still haven't watched Sinister.
Right, okay.
And everyone is just like, dude, you just drop what you're doing and go watch it. I've heard nothing but good things. I know, I'm fully aware Silent Night, Deadly Night 2, that's some garbage day.
Yeah, I mean, this is a problem. I like Silent Night, Deadly Night a lot, and I think a lot of it is because of the absolute 80s Christmas setting. It's like a twisted A Christmas Story.
Yeah, right.
I think it's the feel of it all the way through that I like the most. It's not necessarily the best film in the world. I think some of the kills are good, and some of the visuals are very sort of lasting. You would remember certain scenes, or you will when you've seen it. You will remember some scenes for quite a while. But it is that feeling it gives you. You get that nasty, grainy, old-fashioned Christmas of old, and I think that's what appeals to me with that. I would definitely try and check out the original before you see the remake, but I don't know where you can find it.
Yeah, I'd also like to do a first time watching video with that one as well. And again, it's always been on my radar, man. I just never got around to watching it, and I think I need to check it out before the remake comes out, because I watched the trailer for the remake and it looks pretty good. And I think Cody Leach has already seen. I think he got a preview at Fantastic Fest, and he said it was great.
Yeah, he did. He was glowing about it.
Yeah. Good pick. From what I've seen anyway, and you're right, it's that gritty, grainy, kind of dark kind of aesthetic to it, but with the Christmas spin on it. So yeah.
Yeah, I said I think I said it's 80s. Again, I've not written down the year for that one, but it could even be 70s the way it looks. It could be set in either decade, which I think is a bonus as well. Just another quick question before we go on to the next one. You are a props builder. You observe things. You are very practical and physical. In terms of this theme, what do you think, as somebody that does what you do, what do you think is the creepiest, or has the potential to be the creepiest Christmas symbol?
Well, it actually segues into my number 3.
Oh,
so yeah. So that was actually really perfectly
See, it's
timed,
just
man.
natural. Honestly, million subscribers in a month. I'll tell you with this kind of
done deal, man. Yep, that's it. Make sure don't forget us, all right, when you make it big. Yeah. So, do you want me to say my number 3 now?
Do you know what? You may as well, and then you can obviously answer the question a lot easier, can't you? So
yeah. So I know there are some points during the film where it looks a little silly, but I think it's just I've always liked the design, and that is Krampus.
yeah, okay.
I think the creature design's great, and there are times like where like the mouth's open looks sometimes a bit hokey, but other times the way it's lit, the hood and everything, I'm like, oh man, that like looks really disturbing. And I just think also the overall concept of Krampus, I think is really bloody sick. And I know there have been other designs and stuff like that, but also like the minions that Krampus has and like the horns and all that stuff. So yeah, and that's like my number 3 is Krampus. And like that's the complete opposite to Jack Frost. Like I know James A. Janice, when he did his kill count, he called it the capture count because no one kind of technically dies.
No, it's like a ritual sort of. I don't know what it is really. Is it? It's
like it's in like they're in like a purgatory or something.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that was a word I was scraping for.
Yeah. So I think, the creature design of Krampus is great. And that's when you can take these jolly little creatures like reindeer and elves and stuff like that and just turn them into demonic, sick, twisted, perverted, just like the complete opposite. You could have so much fun with it. And then like when Krampus came along, and I didn't see it right away. I saw it, so it came out 2015. I saw it, I think a year or two later on streaming. And like I love Adam Scott and obviously Toni Collette, you know, she's a homegrown treasure from Australia.
Yeah, of course.
I actually really like their dynamic because they don't get along, but they still care about each other and their family. And then they've got, you know, grandmama from Germany. But I actually think there's actually good bits of writing with the family in that film. It does get a little bit self-indulgent at the end and with what the kind of twist is when they're everything that happens. But I think just also I just got drawn to the creature design of Krampus. I think it's just so cool. It's just, yeah, it's like this gnarly twisted old thing with the robe and everything. So I think that's when your imagination can run wild. Like with the question you asked is like, you know, I've seen like artists do their interpretation of like a decrepit old rotten Santa, like pieces falling off, and that looks, it's just so sick, man. Like, and it's like we said before, it's taking that innocence and just making it gross.
I think Krampus was number 9 or number 8 in the top 10 last year, because I did top 10 Christmas horrors last year. I did 5 the year before, then 10. I was going to keep going, but I think it was 9 or 8. And I said a lot of the time when you see the folklore and you see the old tales of Krampus, he looks sort of like a devil, whereas this, he just looks like the worst kind of Santa Claus. And I think that is far more terrifying than any sort of demonic presence. I think that the Santa design is the best I've seen.
I agree, man. And again, like I said, there are certain scenes where the mouth is open, looks a little bit, how you going? But yeah, I do think also when the mouth is open under the right lighting conditions, he looks great. Just disturbing.
He's huge as well, isn't he? He's like 8 foot tall or something.
yeah, absolutely, man. And because I did my review of Frankenstein the other day, Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein.
Just done that myself,
yeah. And I'm like, I appreciate what they were going for with Jacob Elordi's creature design. I said they were really playing into how good looking he is, because he's a good looking rooster, Jacob Elordi, and they're kind of just keeping with that. But there were scenes in the film where like he gets like blown apart in some instances and he's still healing, but like pieces are missing. You can see rib, and I'm like, that's what that one right there. That's like you're kind of keeping with a little bit of handsome there, but like Harvey Dent, disgusting, like, blown away. I'm like, keep that look. But like when he's, you know, final form and his hair's all luscious and glorious, and he uses, you know, Pantene Pro V and all.
I've never used that.
It's just the natural oils that make it look good.
Well, I'll give you my number 3 then if we've segued into that. Okay, my number 3 is actually one of my... It's strange how it's number 3 when I'm saying this, but it's one of my favourite films of all time. It's happened to be because this is a Christmas list. It's like, in this category, it's third, but overall it's one of my favourites of all time. And it's from 2003, and it is Dead End. And it stars Ray Wise and Lynn Shay.
Okay.
And it's an absolute gem. And not a lot of people know about this one.
I just want to get off this goddamn road.
Yeah, I mentioned it to Cody actually on the video because we were talking about, like, I met Lynn Shay at a convention. I've got a picture with her over there, and I've got the DVD in my hand.
Yeah.
And I said, like, it was great to talk to her about a movie that nobody really knew instead of asking her about Insidious. Yes. But basically what it is it follows a family. Ray Wise is heading back to his mother-in-law's, and they're going to spend Christmas there. And they are so dysfunctional, the family. They've got the brother and sister in the back with the sister's boyfriend. The brother can't stand him, and they just have, it's just fights and arguments on this journey, but they cannot get off this road. And they can't find a way out of it, and they keep seeing things, and there's you don't know what's real and what's not. And it's an amazing combination of horror, drama, and comedy, and they're all in equal parts as well. And it's just, I think it's wonderful. It's a real gem. If you get a chance, that's an absolute must.
Okay, yeah, that's on. I'll put that on the list, man. With that dial code, what was it? Dial code
Santa Claus.
Dial code Santa Claus. Yeah, I just had a quick look just then, and there was a Reddit thread, and people were like, "Yeah, that's like one of the best disturbing endings I've seen in a while." So, yeah, definitely. And like, I love Lynn Shay, man. She's
a queen.
She's just such a staple in the horror genre.
Yeah.
But she definitely would have loved that, man. That someone, chatting to her about One of the Unknowns. And I looked at the budget. The budget was $900,000.
Yeah.
That's nothing.
I use the word subtle a lot on this channel because I like things. Sometimes I just like it to be the opposite of Terrifier, where it's completely just left to your imagination. And in this movie, bar one scene, I think, it's all left to your imagination.
So that can sometimes be the most horrifying conclusion you come to when it's left up to your imagination.
Yeah. I could talk endlessly about that one, but that's one I'm going to properly review next year, I think. But yeah, that is sort of my hidden. If I ever do a video on like hidden gems or movies I like that no one's heard of, that's always going to be up there. So yeah. Before we go into the top 2, just a little bit about you, really. Obviously, with what you build, how do you sort of stay current with all the latest trends and what people are interested in? What do you know? How do you know what's coming next for you?
Oh man, it's hard. Like it's hard. You got to obviously stay relevant on top of what's relevant, but also there are some things that are relevant that don't interest me. And there are like creators out there, YouTubers who are like all over everything. I'm like, man, where do you find the time? It probably would be a different story if I didn't like have my Etsy store and like building things and had more time just purely dedicated to YouTube, which I am working towards to focus a lot more on YouTube but still do my Etsy stuff. But yeah, just keeping up to speed. I also sometimes rely on fellow creators, like you, Cody, Sean Chandler, obviously 3C Films. We watched the movie Drum Dums, Slaughtered Lamb, as well. Jimmy Champagne, because sometimes things will go under the radar for me, and then I'll see friends talking about it. I'm like, oh damn, and then I'll look into it. I'm like, oh man, like hell yeah, like I want to talk about that. So usually most times out of 10, as soon as like you open this thing, it's because the FBI is listening, they'll be like, yeah, let's put this front and center for news for him. And I'll be like, oh sweet. Like when the Halloween game was announced and they had that little like preview, and I'm like, hell yeah, let's talk about that. And like I just only want to talk about what interests me, because otherwise people will be like, the hell's this guy talking about?
That's a good point.
And yeah, and then that's why like we do this. Like we're passionate, we love this stuff. So it's like a full-time gig alone, just trying to keep up with what's trending, what's relevant, what's coming up. And there's obviously like you know it as well, man. We suffer from a big time difference than the United States. As opposed to like with the United States. So like, I love doing trailer reactions and all that stuff. And like, I'll wake up at 5 a.m. and the trailer's dropped like 4 hours ago, and everyone's onto it. And I'm like, oh man, I like splash some water on my face and like sit down, like, okay, let's go.
Well, I could never do a trailer reaction because I don't watch trailers anymore.
Okay, fair enough.
But
No,
I do
fair
agree.
enough, man. Yeah, look, I respect that. I think that definitely helps with the whole experience. So yeah, no, fair enough. Like, more power to you, man. That's I'm also one of those people, like, I want everything yesterday. So I'll be like, I just gotta watch something.
Well, I agree. Where you made 2 points there, actually. One was you want to cover the things that you're interested in. People are all over something, like a series, for example, on Netflix, or a new series that's come out, and I'm like, really bothered, and I could react to it, because everyone else is, and it might get a lot of views and things like that. But one, you're right, I'm probably not going to know what the hell I'm talking about compared to somebody who's been desperate for this thing to come out for months. And two, I'm not going to, there's going to be no passion in it, even if I do know what I'm talking about. So I think it's balancing it out, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And there's so much content these days to consume. It's overwhelming. And people are like, oh, you got to check out this series, you got to check out that series, but you got to give the first 50 seasons a go before it gets good. I'm like, don't tell me that.
Yeah.
I'm like, because I'm doing an episode breakdown and review of each episode of Welcome to Dairy. And that's not a hard slug. Like, it's, once a week thing. The episodes are like an hour. Like, sometimes, like, Sean Chandler will be like reviewing multiple series. I'm like, damn, man, he's a machine. Like,
yeah, he
but
is.
If he's like interested in all that stuff, like, that's like, he's focused his attention, like, good on him. I'm very picky when it comes to series and stuff like that, because it's my time, and time is precious. I want to make sure that I am getting stuff finished, organized for clients, but also, spending time with my wife, my dog, my family, and just me time, decompress time, even though my decompress time is making and creating stuff.
Yeah, you've got a lot of things on the go.
I have to, man. I have to. I hate having quiet, because then my brain just won't shut up.
Well, the thing is as well, with doing what you're interested in and finding time for it all, my channel is not a specifically horror channel. There's a lot in there, but I didn't want it to just be horror, because there's a lot of channels out there just doing horror, and I can liberally sprinkle it in because I love it. But I thought, well, I want to do other things that maybe people don't do. Like I do a themed video called Class 6, where I talk about old movies like from the 50s and the 60s. Like I had Sunset Boulevard and North by Northwest and all the Hitchcock ones and things like that. I do videos on those. I do, with myself and my partner Amy, we watch deliberately bad movies, like Sharknado and Waspnado and Metal Tornado and all these deliberately terrible movies, and we'll sit and we'll do a watch along, and we decide whether it's mock solid or mock bottom and things like that. But it's just a bit of variety, because I think if I did all horror, I would be horrored out.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. And look, I probably shot myself in the foot with the animated intro I created at the beginning of my videos and my banner, where I'm surrounded by like Freddy, Jason, Michael, and Chucky. But my main bread and butter was coming from cosplay, so the superhero world. So, I'm thankful that when superhero stuff does come up, it does seemingly well. But yeah, like, the other day I did my review for The Running Man, and it's got bugger all views. And it's just, you just got to take the L's sometime, man.
I sometimes think that when I make these videos, that if my channel takes off and I get a lot of people suddenly interested, there's a back catalogue of stuff there for people to look at, and it's surprising what videos actually get. Like, the more I get comments every now and again on I don't know if you know it, but I did a Drop Dead Fred.
Okay,
with Rick Mayall, he's my idol, and I thought I want to do a watch along on that movie because I love it, and I don't care if nobody watches it. I just want to do it, and it's one of the higher viewed ones on the channel and the most commented on. Just little things like that. If you can do something for somebody who goes, oh, thank God somebody's talked about that movie, I want to be that guy.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, niche is such a great category. I guess called a category on YouTube, man. That's why I love covering like movie props and stuff like that. Because I think even if you're not a hardcore movie fan, prop aficionado, you still remember certain things from films when you're a kid or something like that. And again, you don't have to be a massive fan. You're just like, oh man, I remember that. Wow, look how it looks today. I remember when I was a kid, I felt like it was that big, but it's really like because we've got these auction houses that take these beautiful HD shots, 4K video now. You got Adam Savage going to these prop houses to see how they all look now and see it all in 4K. It could be sent out to someone in passing, like the YouTube algorithms, like, you may like this, and they check it out and they're like, wow, I remember that movie when I was a kid. And yeah, Nisha's great, man. And Drop Dead Fred, God, that was on rotation with the Three Ninjas, the Paper Brigade. I still remember when he's sliding along the ground, he's like,
cobwebs. Fantastic. Okay, so your runner-up in the top 5 Christmas horrors is, Chris?
Terrifier 3, man.
Yeah, all right, okay.
I had so much fun with it, and I was so glad it got a very limited cinema run here in Australia, and it was rated R here. So for us to rate something R18 plus, it's got to be pretty bad. Like I feel like we've softened a bit. Well, actually, keep in mind, like, I've got my Freddy's Dead and Elm Street 1 poster here. Like, Freddy's Dead was M15 plus for medium level violence and coarse language, and that was 1991. But then, like, Elm Street was rated R 18 plus here in 1984-5. And then, yeah, when Terrifier 3 came out, it was in a limited run. They're like, R18. I'm like, hell yeah. And like, they were checking everyone's IDs at the cinema lobby, which unheard of here. Usually they just like, yeah, go on through. But they were like, no, we have to check everyone. And then I remember this scene in the shower in the locker room where old mate gets the chainsaw up the arse. Yeah. Like, it was actually quite a packed cinema in the afternoon. It was middle of the week, and this dude a few rows in front of me, that happens. It fell silent, and this one dude, he was like, Aussiest accent, he's like, oh, what the fuck? And I'm like, and then everyone just burst out laughing. But like we were talking about before, man, where you can have something so horrific paired with some yeah. And to me, that's the opening sequence with the family, and dad gets just brutalized in bed, and then mum gets the axe in the head, and then Art's having his milk and cookies. And I love that, just that little touch of him washing up and putting the plate on the dish rack. And then he hears the noise and little girl's in the cupboard, and you don't see, but you see the aftermath of what happened to her little brother. And again, that just sets the tone right away. I'm like, okay, Damien Leone's like going another step further into how up this film can be. And then, like, the dude from Scary Movie, where he gets his scalp and skin pulled down, and is like, ah. And then the shower scene, and then the end scene where it gets very, not existential, but it's like delving more into what Art's all about, where he's from. Where does, oh God, what's our final girl's name?
Sienna.
Sienna?
Yeah.
Where's she gone? And then Art's at the bus stop, like on the verge of death, but then he gets his second win on the bus, and like how are things going to wrap up in Terrifier 4. But all the while, like the Christmas theme, and when Art's at the shopping mall and the explosion happens, and like there's like bits of kids and parent everywhere. I was like, good God, this is just a romp and a half.
I must say, right, I think that's number 6 in my list. So it just missed. But I've got a strange relationship with Terrifier, because I actually thought All Hallows Eve was better than the first Terrifier.
I still haven't seen All Hallows Eve, and that's the first appearance of Art, correct?
It is, yeah. It was all based around I think it was the Ninth Circle. I think it was a short film, and then they made it into All Hallows Eve.
That's not David Howard Thornton as Art, is it?
No, he looks different in it. He's not got the hook nose. He looks sort of more like a mime artist rather than a clown. And that short is part of All Hallows Eve. And I thought that was a decent anthology for Halloween. It was quite twisted and dark and gnarly, but it really solidly felt like Halloween. I wasn't a fan of Terrifier the first. I didn't really think it had much about it. I thought 2 was an improvement, but I like gore, but I always thought that was like, all right, we're getting a bit silly now. 3, however, I loved it. Because I think right at the start, when I mentioned Silent Night, Deadly Night earlier, the beginning of Terrifier 3 reminded me of Silent Night, Deadly Night.
Okay.
It looks like it. It looks like it's straight out of the 80s of that opening scene in the house. And from then on, it's nasty and gnarly and gratuitous, but there's a point to it. And it feels more like a movie that's flowing from stage to stage. I also thought the mall scene was amazing. I never expected that. That's a shock. And I think that shock factor actually gives you like a boost of adrenaline for the rest of the film.
It does, because then like the stakes are, what would you say, the stakes are up, but it's just like Art's just not holding back. Like
He's become a mass murderer at that point.
Yeah.
Like
how Heath Ledger described his Joker, like a schizophrenic mass murdering clown, and that's what Art is. And it's just what's the limit now? Like how far is this going to be pushed? And even the fight in the kitchen between Art and Sienna was great. Like I was like white knuckling it with the armrests in the center. I'm like, damn, like this is really well done. And it's brutal as well. Oh my God. And also the pipe down the throat and the rats, and just like, this is so bad. But it's beautiful to watch, because I'm like, man, that's like who comes up with that concept? Like Damien's head, he's like, yeah, pipe down the throat, put some rats down there.
It's the same as like Final Destination, isn't it? Who the hell comes up with these awful like fates for these characters? But again, this is another movie where the practical effects are just a joy to watch. That's always been something I've said about this franchise. No matter whether I like the movie or not, the practicals are just doing wonderful things for horror.
Yes, it's worth the price of admission alone, man. And that's what I said about Frankenstein. Like the visuals itself is worth the price of a subscription for Netflix, just because it's Del Toro. But also, you're going to see how screwed up things are going to be this time around. So like no pressure at all for Terrifier 4, but they just keep upping that disgusting ante.
Yeah, but I actually think 3 benefited from what it had done in the previous entries for me, because I knew what was coming then. I was like, well, I know they're going to be gratuitous. I know they're going to be gory as hell. I'm ready for that now. Give me a story. And they did that. My number 2, again, it could be other people's number 1, 1974 Black Christmas.
Oh, man. You know what? Honorable mention for me.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
That's fair. Yeah, I think, again, it's the look of it. It's that. So
it's Silent Night, Deadly Night 2 aesthetic. No, not 2. Sorry, just Silent Night, Deadly Night. Sorry, because I remember seeing the trailer for Silent Night, Deadly Night, and it reminded me of Black Christmas.
Yeah, it's just great. And again, I still can't believe that it's Bob Clark who directed A Christmas Story that made this. I mean, the contrast is phenomenal, but the setting is still bleak, and the amount of risks this takes is what he says on the phone to them. In 1974, that's some pretty strong stuff he's coming out with. And just the influence it had on how many like sorority movies have we had since? How many home invasion movies? How many phone call based movies have come off the back of this? I just think every time I watch it, I think this is the beginning of all of that. And it might not be a brilliant movie. I think my partner thinks it's like all right. She appreciates what it's done, but she's not a massive fan of it. She thinks it's horrible, But I was like, great, I want that. Yeah. But just I feel like it's the start of something special every time I watch it.
Yeah, I agree. I also think it doesn't get enough credit for inspiring other slasher films after that, even though it's more of a subtle slasher film. But then also, John Saxon is a Detective Fuller. Yeah, like anything Saxon's in, man. But I think also just because of the aesthetic of it. Friend of the channel, Dave McRae, went on to do It's Me, Billy, Chapter 1 and 2, which is great because, showing it some love. I haven't seen the remake or the 2019.
I've seen the remake once, and I remember it being palatable.
Right.
I can't bring myself to watch the other one.
Because the way Dave describes it is it's just something else with the Black Christmas title slapped over it.
Yeah. Oh, it's not even Christmas, is it? It's one of them's Xmas, isn't it? I think.
Okay.
But either way, again, it's I could never like the remake anymore because it's not so much the movie story and quality so much as just how it feels all the way through. And there's a great dread sense all the way through it as well. It feels dirty.
Yes. Yeah, like depressing.
Yeah. During this holiday season of happiness. Yeah. Again, though, you know, it's that contrast. And I just think it does it perfectly. And like I said, it's so much of a catalyst for like Halloween and things like that came 4 years later. So yeah, it's a massive.
I swear Dave also said that Bob Clark had a chat with Carpenter, and Bob Clark sort of planted the seed for Carpenter for Halloween. I don't know. I could be paraphrasing the way Dave spoke about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, apparently Bob Clark and Carpenter had a bit of a like back and forth, just, you know, exchanging notes. And obviously Bob Clark had already done Black Christmas, and because there was 74 Black Christmas, and then 4 years later we got Halloween.
The Year of the Chainsaw as well.
Year of the Chainsaw, yeah, of course, man. Yeah. Chainsaw Massacre, absolutely. 74. God, I keep forgetting how old that movie is.
It'll never let me forget it, that movie, believe me. I could go on and on about that one as well. Just want to sort of ask again about what you do, because that backdrop is a joy. I cannot stop looking at the new Nightmare glove, which is wonderful.
Man. Yeah.
I believe is that part 2, Freddy, in the top corner?
Yes, so that is Freddy's Revenge, sculpted by Paul Bailey.
I know Paul.
Yeah,
good,
absolute
guy.
talent bag, man. The glove is by Christian Carlson, made in Sweden. And then this is
Nightmare
the piece de resistance. This is made by David Miller, the original makeup artist for Elm Street 1, 5, and 7. And David's kept all the makeup molds for Robert, and he makes silicon busts utilizing the screen-used appliance molds, and he glues them all, blends them all on a bust of Robert. He does this one, he does the part 5 Freddy, and he does the new Nightmare Freddy. He must have worked it out in his contract or something that he can keep the molds. These molds are over 40 years old, and he's able to still do this. So yeah, this is the pride and joy, and obviously Spawn, but you know, got a bit of everything, man. Like, you know, my McFarlane Toys Edward, then the Gremlin that I put together as a model kit and painted, Samurai Cop. You know, you got 𝗖𝗵𝗿𝗀𝗄𝗏's pieces of shit.
I've seen that. I was absolutely loving that. So I watched it. It was on I was watching one of your videos today, and I was like, I can't believe he's got that shit in the background.
Yeah. Officially from Netflix as well.
Oh, so I love one of those.
That's a key. There's actual cereal in there, and I'm not going to open it.
I would love one of those. That would be pride of place.
And there's more stuff up here, so I'm constantly like rotating stuff. So like, you know, I've got this big beautiful T-Rex that by CJ Romano, sculpted it by hand. So I'm always like trying to shuffle stuff around and give things, you know, ample screen time and love in the background of my videos. So yeah, man. Is
there anything when it comes to building and making, is there anything you wouldn't attempt?
Oh, wouldn't attempt. That's a good one, man. If I was not going to attempt something, it's because I'm not invested in the character and maybe just doing it for jumping on the bandwagon. And look, there are friends of mine that I don't want to say jump on the bandwagon, but they can see that a certain character is doing well, and they're like, well, yeah, I'll give that a go, you know, get some pocket money. Like, fair call, man. Like, whatever. If you're doing a good job finishing the piece, like with painting and all that, and it looks great, then like more power to you. Good on you. Like, you're making someone happy who's purchased that from you. That's where like my heart needs to be in. And that's why, like, you know, I'm very narrow-minded. It's like Freddy, Batman, Spawn, stuff that I'm invested in because I know I'm going to do a good job and clients will love it. So yeah, man, if I am not going to do something, it's because I'm not invested in it. So I can't exactly like.
So not that it's too difficult, or nothing like it's too complex for you or anything.
Look, I'd never shy away from a challenge, but there have been times where people have reached out to me for a commission piece, like a one-off commission piece, and they're like, "Hey, I'd like X, Y, and Z." I go, "Oh, look, I don't feel like I could do it justice," because I always ask, what's your budget? Like, well, you know, what are you willing to, let's try and work something out so it benefits me, benefits you, so, you know, everyone's happy. And they'll be like, oh, you know, I've got this budget in mind. I'm like, okay, this is out of my wheelhouse. I've dabbled in it, but here are friends of mine that I can recommend that this is their bread and butter. And I'll like forward them on to friends that are either local, overseas, like who are all over that. And just maybe this person hadn't seen them. They haven't been on their radar, and then they reach out to them, and yeah, they make it work. So I think you have to know your limits, but then also, you know, you learn, you know, pick up a new skill. So yeah, man, it's just definitely one of those things where I've got to be invested in the character. Like I always know I'm going to be invested in Freddy, Michael, Jason, Batman. It's one of those things where it's details, like whether it be a sculpt, a glove. For the longest time, I built Freddy gloves. That's how I kind of cut my teeth into prop making. Dude, it's a whole nother realm. It's like Myers masks or Jason hockey masks. Like just each glove is so vastly different, and there are builders that really know how to do a good part 5 and like how the glove looks today. It's called the as seen today. But then, you know, Christian also does like a brilliant part 1 glove. It's just it's an absolute thing of beauty. And you know, people from the outside look at it as a weapon, but I'm like, nah, man, that's art. That's just such a beautiful design. For, you know, back in '84, Lou Carlucci, Charlie Blodnelli, Jim Doyle, who designed and built the glove for the first Elm Street, they were just making a prop. They're like, just get some copper pipe, just get those knives from the thrift store, those ones, you know, take the handle off, turn them upside down. Actually, hang on, so much so. So here's an original Case XX P210. These are the original knives that they used. So originally the knife's like that, and it's like a tomato knife. Take the handle off, turn it upside down. So like, yeah, get 4 of them. Those look good, and braze them on, and just get that dirty old work glove. And again, they're working with a limited budget. They just need to give the killer a weapon, and it just becomes this iconic thing next to him being iconic.
I remember Paul Bailey showed me the ones he'd made with the box cutters.
Oh God, brutal. Yeah, dude,
absolutely.
that thing was brutal. Like it was such an interesting design as well, because like it's all one piece with the fingers. There's no bending, but just the idea of a straight edge razor, it just gives me the willies, because like I've cut myself on like Stanley knives.
Yeah,
so
it's relatable, isn't it?
It is, and you're like, it just gives you the heebie-jeebies.
Top 5 is almost done. I am very curious to know your favorite Christmas horror of all time. Go for it.
Okay. Well, there's a clue in the background.
Oh, of course.
What are you thinking?
It's Gremlins, isn't it?
Yes, it's even though that's from Gremlins 2, it's Gremlins, man. I still remember Mum brought home the VHS of Gremlins 1, and I was watching it. I'm like, this is brilliant. They'll let me watch Gremlins, but not Batman Returns or Hook. And there's the old lady in the stair elevator thing, and smash out the window, and Billy's mom with the gremlin in the kitchen and puts him in the microwave, and proper creature feature. Joe Dante, Chris Columbus penning the script. I love the beautiful winter cozy setting of the town, but then just shit goes awry. And then of course, like beautiful little gizmo. It's so good, man. It's got so much going on, so many tonally, the film's all over the place. And that's actually not a knock at the film.
No, I can understand that. Yeah.
It's got this dark, twisted sense of humor, like when Kate is telling the story of what happened to her dad as Santa Claus, and he got stuck in the chimney and broke his neck, and she's telling it just Phoebe Cates delivers that monologue so well, and you're just like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
dude, are you okay?
Yeah, that's really dark. I'd forgotten about that until now.
Yeah. And then obviously, like when Gremlins 2 came along, Joe Dante's like, all right, well, I'm going to take the piss out of what we established in the look. I actually kind of like Gremlins 2 more than 1, and that's not saying 1 is bad at all. I don't know why. I think because like they just go absolutely ballistic in number 2.
That could be considered a hot take, that, sir.
Yeah, look, fair enough, man. I think at that point Dante was like, well, what else do we do? And let's just poke fun at everything and have everything meta, self-aware, take the piss out of Warner Brothers. But then also like the goofiness in the first one was so brilliant, man. And again, like the puppetry, the animatronics, the practical effects. But then when it gets dark, it gets really dark.
Yeah, and it's also got one of my favorite scores, that particular sound when they come out, particularly with the snowmobile.
Yeah.
I love that because I'm a big fan of, that's the one. Yeah, I'm a big fan of recognizable scores in films rather than just using like haunting piano versions of 70s hits and things like that, which seems to be really popular now. I like it when you can identify, and that's why John Williams was always so great, because you knew you could put the score to the film. Gremlins is the same, and it's like it's a fun theme, but it also sounds like really sinister and like murderous for some reason.
I like the theme as well when the Mogwai are birthing and it sounds like a cat in pain. It's like it just sounds really unsettling. Like you're seeing these things being birthed and it sounds sort of like the creature sounds that they're making when they're being birthed and coming to life and then causing absolute chaos and property damage. And yeah.
If I'm right in saying that might also be in my Christmas but not Christmas list.
Okay.
But I think I said at the time, it's probably the most Christmas of all of those, because all the way through, it's plastered with snow and lights and trees and stuff. I never hear people going, "Oh, my favorite Christmas movie is Gremlins." They don't put it in the lists. They always just go for the obvious ones like National Lampoons and things like that. I kind of think it needs to be seen more as a Christmas horror, because it couldn't be any more Christmas.
Yeah, again, it's right in your face. Like, there's snow, there's lights everywhere, and
Gizmo's a Christmas present.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. That should solidify it. Gizmo is a Christmas present.
Yeah. There he is.
Oh, he's so cute and cuddly.
Yeah, he's a little bit different to the obvious ones. I don't know how many of these there are, and I'm not absolutely... I'd have to look at the where I bought, like go back and look at my order. But there wasn't many of them online. There was like a smaller version, and this was like the biggest one, because you could get like miniature versions of him.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
He looks adorable.
He is, isn't he? Yeah, he's great.
He reminds me, he's like a cross between Gizmo and an Ewok.
Yes. Yeah. He sort of captures the essence, but he's not, it's not like the exact design.
There just might be a gremlin in your house.
I have no clue what your number one's going to be.
Right. Well, so far, to be honest, I know you've not seen a few of mine because mine have been a bit niche, but I mean, and one of yours, I mean, you said Jack Frost. I've not seen Jack Frost in a long time, so I may as well not have seen it. So you might not have seen this, or you may surprise me. Again, I've not written down the year. And it's a film called Christmas Evil.
No, Christmas Evil.
So basically, he has this moment where he sees his mother with Santa Claus in a compromising situation, and it traumatizes him. And it's actually his father dressed up for the kids, benefit. Yeah. But he takes it as Santa Claus is a deviant. And from then on, he grows up to be somebody that wants to be a better version of Santa Claus for the kids and everything. And he wants to take on the role and be a role model instead of the real Santa. What happens is this guy just gradually declines and descends into madness to the point where he's gluing a beard onto his face that won't come off, and he is trying to get down chimneys in the cold and on the roofs and things like that, and it's a complete spiral into madness for this guy. It stars Jeffrey DeMunn. I don't know if you've seen him before. He is he's one of the guards in Green Mile. Been in a bunch of things. I just always forget. He's the prosecutor in Shawshank Redemption and things like that. He's quite a seasoned actor, but he's one of the better characters. But it's Brandon Maggot. I don't even think he's done that many movies, but he plays this deranged Santa Claus in this film. I don't want to give it away if you want to see it, but I think it's a real sort of underrated, overlooked Christmas horror that is it's very dark because of the sort of psychological damage that this guy is going through like daily until it comes to a big climax at the finish. It's an unusual movie, but I think it's worth the patience at the beginning when you see what happens to this guy when he becomes like full on Santa Claus.
Okay. All right. Yeah. All right. That sounds good, man. It sounds very, I don't want to say layered, but obviously there's a bit more going on instead of just slash and dash.
It's more psychological horror. I mean, it does have its slasher elements, But the thing is with this guy is I think he works in a toy factory or something. If you expect something like that to happen, that he's in this place surrounded by all these toys, almost like all these co-workers are elves, you know, and he's very uncomfortably sort of creepy, not in a deviant way, but in like a frightening way with the kids. If you were a kid and he approached you as Santa Claus, it would be a frightening situation, not a jolly one. And you get that really uneasy feeling all the way through it. Honestly, I love it. And I have to put it number one because it was the one I just went, now that's a Christmas horror when I watched it.
Hang on. Christmas Evil, 1980.
There you go, 80. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Okay. Just checking it out now. Okay. All right, man. Yeah, nice.
And I'll bring you something horrible.
Yeah, so I hope you like come away from this with some good tips, and if you ever do want to review them, just let them know where you got it from.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Like the French one as well, like Dial Code Santa Claus. That sounds really interesting, and like again, it has that Home Alone spin on it. Your picks were great. Like I kind of was like, oh damn, let me have a good think about this. So like mine were probably very surface level with my picks, but obviously, you know, you've got your international ones and everything.
I like your picks because you've taken movies that have got a lot of horror elements in that are actually underrated as horrors, which I appreciate. Because like I said, I think Batman Returns is a horror. I think Gremlins is a horror, and a lot of people don't. So I think they need bringing to the attention, certainly at this time of year anyway.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. It's just a public service announcement.
Yes. Well, I appreciate that. It was an excellent top five. And do you know what? We never even matched the whole way through. And I thought at some point, not even one. You know, I thought maybe my 5 would be your 3 or something like that, but nothing. That was great. That was perfect, actually.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, it was good. Instead of doubling up, which, you know, I thought was going to happen, possibly with Terrifier, but that was good, man. It just makes for even better conversation.
Just before I wrap this up, I wanted to make reference to something I was watching just before we went on this call, actually. I was watching your channel and I noticed that you have a real fondness for deleted scenes and, you know, stuff that didn't make the cut and all that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Do you think they allow you to create a version of a movie that's your own? For example, you know, you can watch a movie and then you can see what didn't make it and you can choose to put that in and remember that as part of the story.
It's funny you mentioned that, man. I had someone reach out to me, and it's not a horror film, but they reached out to me and they said, I've pretty much kit bashed my own Schumacher cut of Batman Forever together with a lot of the deleted, unused footage. And like, you know, it's a bit rough because it's, you know, time coded bits of the footage and stuff like that. But then like, you know, you also look at the work print of Freddy's Dead and like, obviously it's super rough. But yeah, I do love it when fans do that. It's like the despecialized Star Wars, like the original trilogy, where these fans got original film and scanned the negatives and put them on Blu-ray with all the extra CGI nonsense that George Lucas put back into them. So I love it when people do stuff like that. But imagine that, yeah, there's like a feature on like a Blu-ray or 4K where you can just get the full like experience, all the noise and everything of the deleted scenes. And, you know, if it tacks on another half an hour, so be it. They're going to be people out there, including myself, especially if it was Elm Street, that would watch that.
Yeah, it was the Elm Street one I watched, actually, that you'd gone to Freddy, the Nightmare one, and where he was on the ceiling and some of those close-ups. Fantastic. They're really creepy as well.
Yeah. I do like the idea of Freddy not being there, but you hear the like the grunts of Robert dragging Tina up the wall. But I think if he could have flashed a couple of times to that close-up of Robert and his teeth clenched and the way he's lit, and you see like the saws glistening in the light, I'm like, don't reveal too much of the monster, because in the lead up to that happening and, you know, Freddy in the alleyway, he's hidden a lot in shadow. And even when, you know, Tina watch this, you just see like his teeth. You don't see much of it. I still think if you had done a quick couple of flashes, like Amanda was like on the ceiling and like looking down, quick flash of Freddy, and then back to Rod's POV of nothing there.
Yeah.
And like, you know, there was a quick glimpse of when Tina and Freddy are under the sheets and you see the silhouette of Freddy and Tina. That's cool. But a quick little like boom, and you're like, oh, whoa, that's what, like, that's her last. That's the last thing she sees before
alive.
She dies.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's so disturbing. And like Jesus Garcia, who played Rod, he said it so well in the Never Sleep Again documentary. He's like, him, Wes, Amanda, Robert, the crew, they're like, we've really got to put thought into this to make this really psychologically damaging. Like, again, there's nothing too fantastical about that sequence. And that's what makes it so much more scary. It's not like Nightmare 4 or 5 dream sequences.
Yeah, where they really go all out, don't they, for those?
Yeah, and like, they're cool, but they're in their mum's bed, in her bedroom, sliced open, dragged up the wall. Like, Rod's in his tidy whities, she's in a nightie, and like, you're so vulnerable. But also, yeah, just to have those quick couple of flashes. And I don't think Amanda Wiss gets enough praise for her performance in that sequence.
No,
like,
she's great.
She has that. You've probably heard the death scream. Like, there are certain videos, some that I regret watching, that just happen to pop up, and you hear someone's death scream, and they unfortunately have passed. It's awful. And her scream, I'm like, my God, that's a death scream and a half. But just how she reaches out and screams out for Rod, and Rod has no idea what the fuck. He's just like, what? Like, he's like, the hell is going on? It's like Kevin Bacon in Tremors. What the hell is going on?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I just think, man, like, don't overdo it. That little flash, like, quickly, like, Amanda Wiss looking down, and then flash of Robert, because Robert said they wanted to get Amanda Wiss with the camera, but she wasn't union, so they had to get her stunt double, who does the fall onto the bed.
Yeah.
So yeah, they gave her the camera, gave her a quick crash course in, how, like, Jacques Haken, the DOP, was like, okay, so you can do it. And then, yeah, Robert grabbed her leg and went for it. But then there's also, you've seen the footage as well, where he's stalking and he's got blood on the glove, and then he's like, bye-bye.
Yeah.
Maybe just even like a quick little, like, bring his face right to Tina's, and then just like, bye-bye, and then let her go.
But you must see that now when you see the scene as it is. You must see all those little bits and remember that, and almost that's in your head. This may be what they're showing me, but I know I've seen this, this, and this, which is more revealing.
Yeah, and it's funny. You've actually just inspired me. I'd like to make a little edit of that scene with those particular deleted scenes, but try and make it have a bit of flow to it and not be abrupt. Not overstay its welcome. So you've actually inspired me to do that, man. Stand by. I'm going to try and edit something, and I'll send it to you, see if it does make sense. Because I'm just glad we have seen it. Like, they have released those unused deleted scenes and alternate takes.
I like playing around with things like that on edits and stuff. So if you do, please let me know, and I'd love to see what you come up with.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, no, thank you for the inspiration for that one.
You're welcome. Well, Chris, that's been a joy. Got me right in the spirit for the season. Not that it usually takes much, but certainly I do tend to sort of stray away from wanting to do the content during Christmas, because I just want to drink and eat. But this has actually given me something to do. Before I wrap this up, do you just want to give us a rundown of what you've got coming up and where to find all your stuff and anything you want to promote? The floor's yours.
Oh man, coming up, just working on Etsy orders, just trying to sort upcoming content on my I call it my second channel, but it's my main channel now, and it's just Chris Stanley on YouTube. That I've also got my main first channel, Cosplay Chris, and then just on Instagram, Chris Stanley Official Man, where you can see my shenanigans and hijinks I'm getting up to. Tomorrow morning, I've got a gig in the city as Nathan Drake for PlayStation's 30th anniversary. So they got a big setup down there, a place called The Rocks in Circular Quay, which is just next over from Darling Harbour. So I'm going to have a big activation thing there. And so after this, I got to literally jump in the shower, go get a haircut, because my hair's like too long for Nathan Drake at the moment. So yeah, I had to get the costume out of storage. 4:30 tomorrow, because I got a call time of 7 a.m. But obviously I want to get ready. I want to do the makeup, like the scratches. I also need to do my review for Primate. I got to see Primate a couple of weeks ago at South by Southwest. And again, once again, shout out to Cody. Cody saw it at, I think, Fantastic Fest, sung its praises. And then when I got the invite, I'm like, hell yeah. And dude, I love it because it was so simple. There's no fuck around factor with, there's this story beat, there's this plot line. It's just simple. Chimp gets bitten. chimp goes ballistic and like ripping people's faces off and their skeletons like just that's all I wanted. That's what I got. So it's a super early preview, man. The film doesn't come out till January.
Jesus.
So yeah, still a bit of time to do my review, but yeah, I can't wait to watch it again. It was so good. So yeah, when it comes out, man, check it out.
Yeah, definitely. That sounds good.
But yeah, apart from that, man, just sometimes I take things a day at a time. You never know what trailer or what bit of news is going to drop in the horror world, the superhero world. Like the teaser trailer for Toy Story 5 dropped the other day, so I did a bit of coverage on that. So yeah, there's things that I've got a big long-term plan for with getting things done, and then other times you wake up, you're like, all right, let's talk about X, Y, and Z.
That's it. You just summed up this life. Basically,
you gotta roll with it, man.
Yeah, it's pretty much like the structure of these videos is the same. Let's just see how it goes.
It's chaotically beautiful.
Yes, and there's always beauty in chaos and vice versa.
Yeah, that's it.
Well, guys, thank you very much for watching our top 5 Christmas horrors. I hope that you got something from that video. I know that Chris is going to go away and watch some of my picks. He's reminded me of a couple of that I need to see myself. If you did enjoy this video, please do me the honor of hitting that like button and that subscribe button as well, the notification bell. Click that as well for more updates on videos coming up in the future. But from myself and Chris, thank you very much for joining us today. I hope you enjoyed it and have an excellent Christmas. Take it easy.
Awesome.
Hope you enjoyed that video, guys. If you want to go check out more of Chris's stuff, all the links are down below in the description. If you'd like to know more of my favorite Christmas horrors, there is a top 10 list on here. If you go to my rankings playlist, you will find that, as well as a Christmas but not Christmas list, top 5, and a top 20 all-time Christmas movies. You should find those videos down below. Thanks for your support this year. Have a brilliant Christmas and New Year. Love you all. Take care.